On 103.5 WEZL Charleston. Da-da-da-dun-dun-dun. ABC News on the hour.
Boy, you hit that right on the
Boy,
mark.
that was a flashback. I'm sorry. There was a time in radio when you actually had to do that. You had to worry about how long your songs were. And,
back timing.
And if you you had to either shorten it or stretch it out or what, because you had to be dead on.
It used
0-0
to be a game,
at the top of the hour. Absolutely.
It used to be a game, man, to see how close you could hit it. It was just right on time.
That was back.
Just loved it.
That was back when. 7 o'clock at WEZL Charleston. Good morning to you. Of course, Haiti continues to be in the news. They are today is kind of a turnaround day for them, where they go from rescue operations to recovery operations. They're still finding the occasional live person after 9 days. It's amazing.
But the longer we get into this, it's going to be more of a recovery situation than rescue. But I tell you, it's amazing. I mean, that little boy they pulled out of the rubble yesterday, he'd been in there since the day of the quake. And I mean, he
5 years old.
Held his
hands up,
yeah,
man, and smiled.
Great,
I mean, I said, way to go, dude. And I mean, all the rescue workers were just cheering and applauding. I mean, it was.
They say other than being dehydrated, he's actually okay. I mean, they're going to go put some fluids in him and he'd be up and going.
Any word on the Americans that were at that hotel?
The one that the father's been on TV talking to
Today Show.
Oh, man.
There are of course Americans who are very upset. They say that the government's not doing enough to go in and find the Americans that are there. But I don't know, how you can differentiate. I don't know how you can go in and say we're just here to find Americans.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to go in, you're going to go in and find who you can.
Well, the gist of the what I've gotten from this is this family has received word that they can hear tapping sounds, or people are reporting that there are people still alive in this hotel, and it's their daughter among some of the.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And they just
well, I mean, and it's possible there are situations like that grocery store where people were trapped under in a big open area under the collapsed roof where there was food and water on the shelves. I mean, they could still be alive today and doing fine. Probably better access to food and water than they have out on the street. So, I mean, they will still find people, but they say at this stage of the game, they have to start worrying about recovery.
Of all the places to be stuck, though, a grocery store would be...
That'd be the place to be stuck.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, because there'd be stuff available.
That's right.
24 hours a day. How horrible. And then to come out and find there's nothing.
I know.
Absolutely. By the way, I mentioned yesterday about the orphanage that I'd gotten the emails about. Actually having some luck getting some contacts with people who are going to try to locate these kids and see. And I appreciate everybody including the folks out at the air base who took the information and passed it along to some of their people who are en route. And also from a guy here in town who has a nephew who's flying one of the 7 relief helicopters around the island. Got the information to him. They're going to try to locate where these kids are with this priest and try to get them some help. So it's one of those deals where you just never know who can help you until you need it, You
put it out there and hope it sticks somewhere.
And then somebody says, you know what, I got a nephew who's flying helicopters down there. I'll get him to, So thanks for the offers of help, and we'll see what happens. Other news this morning, Mark Sanford made his last State of the State last night.
Did he apologize?
He apologized, he said, for the last time you will ever hear him apologize to the public. And he praised his wife for her handling of this whole situation. And then he talked about budget limits and state spending limits and the economy and jobs and things that the governor needs to be talking about. So we'll see what happens. He's in his final year. Legislature's doing everything they can to figure out how they're going to pay for things with no money.
Yeah, being broke is tough.
We'll see what happens. That new guy in Massachusetts, the Superman from Massachusetts, Scott Brown, on his way to Washington. Mr. Brown goes to Washington today. He's going to go see Senator John Kerry and Senator John McCain. This guy's a superhero right now. I had a lady call me yesterday. That lady I was telling you about earlier, in the midst of that conversation, she was talking about the new rock star of the Republican Party, and this guy would be running for president.
Now, did he drive down in his truck?
I doubt it. He probably flew. I doubt he'll be in that truck again anytime soon. The campaign's over. But I heard last night on the news, this guy, certainly young, came from poverty, welfare, the whole thing. Great story, looks good. He even had a pictorial, I understand, at one point in Cosmopolitan magazine.
Yeah,
I mean, he's really the Republican answer to Barack Obama. He really is. I mean, he's perfectly spoken. You got to like the guy. but now they're already talking about he has not even been sworn in as senator, and they're already talking about his presidential campaign in 2012 because he is so vibrant and came out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, the Republicans have nobody right now.
Well, so maybe he is the man. We'll see what happens. And as expected here locally, a couple of political families have their fingers in the pie here. U.S. Senator Strom Thurmond's son made it official yesterday. Paul Thurmond says he will run for Henry Brown's congressional seat. Also announced earlier running for it, the son of former Governor Carroll Campbell is running for the seat. That'll be an interesting little match right there.
Yep.
Because basically both of them are running on the fact that they're the sons of past politicians.
Famous
state politicians. So it'll be interesting to see which one of those two is able to make the most hay out of that. Or, as they found out in the elections this week, is that a negative?
Yeah, that could be true.
Could be.
There's some other big names that are possibly out there, like Tommy Hartnett,
And a couple
some of those.
and there are a couple of unknowns who are going to be running for that seat too. So it'll be interesting to see how that whole thing shakes out.
And even some of the folks that are running for governor and lieutenant governor are considering making a move to this.
Yeah, it'll be.
office.
Well, they say the electorate in America is neither anti-Democrat nor anti-Republican. They are anti-both.
Anti-incumbent.
51% of the nation now is undeclared or independent, officially.
Because we think they all suck.
Yeah,
basically. Okay.
exactly. And they say that's exactly what this guy in Massachusetts won on by saying, you know what, you're right.
Well, I hope he goes there and doesn't get caught up in it.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Because you have to make deals to get things, and that's just how Washington works.
And that really, it's not good for us, it's good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, 7:06 at WEZL.
Dick's Sporting Goods is your baseball headquarters. Dick's has